and I'm the Vice President of the Education and Leadership Foundation, and I just wanted to thank you all for coming out this morning and honoring these students and these wonderful teachers. I want to, first of all, introduce our board members that are here. We have Marsha Kocurek, our president. Jill Becca, our secretary. Michaela Gerlin, executive director, and she also is our scholarship committee chair. And then not able to make it today was Rebecca Gardner. She's our treasurer. And Christy Splon, our executive director. I just want to thank a couple of people real quick. Thank you to Miss Ashley Zaboral. She was instrumental in putting this whole program together. So thank you, Ashley, for everything. Also, thank you to our sponsors, Home and Ranch Real Estate, for providing our drinks this morning. Farm Bureau, Engraving and More, and Mr. Peters for providing the plaques and the trophies. And also thank you to 4 Times, the Broaddus family, for making our breakfast this morning. Thank you so much. And then now I would like to invite Marsha to lead us in a prayer this morning.
Good morning. Before I lead us in the prayer, I just wanted to say how excited I am to be here. Driving in this morning, I thought about how this all got started. Krista and I have young little hornets, and we were talking about what we could do to help Caldwell ISD and help our kids and their teachers. And we talked about an education foundation. 4 years ago, we talked about an education foundation, and now we are able to say we've given out, over $70,000 in teacher grants. We've given books to students 3 years in a row. Every kid at elementary, every kid at intermediate school gets a $5 voucher to go to the book fair, and they all get books. And we're able to recognize these amazing seniors and the teachers that inspire them. So thank you for your support. Thank you for having amazing children. Thank you, teachers, for helping mold those children into the bright stars that they are today. We are so appreciative of all of that. So now let's bow our heads in prayer. Lord, this morning we want to thank you for all the blessings that you bestow upon us. Thank you for blessing us with the gift of education, the gift of leadership, the gift of fellowship with our local community. Lord, be with all of these families as we celebrate today all the accomplishments that have happened in Caldwell. Be with us also today as we continue to work to promote the foundation. We thank you for your blessings, and in your name we pray. Amen.
Okay, what is a bright star? So we talk, you know what education is, and this is the leadership portion of the Caldwell Education and Leadership Foundation. So these students are chosen by the faculty and staff at Caldwell High School because they not only get good grades, but they have good moral values and good character. These kids do the right thing when no one is looking. They're excited to be Caldwell Hornets, and they show it through their actions every day. So thank you guys for just being amazing. And now I'm gonna call you up, and this is in alphabetical order, so I need you to come up here, and they're gonna tell you about the teacher that they chose that inspired them. So first we have Miss Hannah Blaha. And if you guys want to tell us real quick when you come up, tell us what your plans are after high school and what college you're attending. Just super short, real quick. You can say, I don't know.
I don't really know where I'm going yet. I want to go play golf somewhere, so Hale. When I was asked to pick one teacher that has made the biggest impact on my life, I immediately knew that it had to be Coach Hale. Oh, Coach Hale. Where do I even start? These past 3 years have been the best years of my life, and I truly believe that you have played a huge factor in this. There are many reasons why I look up to Coach Hale. First off, he is patient. For those that don't know, he calls Rachel, Priscilla, and I the sorority sisters. I can only imagine why. We can be dramatic, moody, or crazy hyper, and his coaching remains consistent. I know it has probably been a very difficult task coaching the so-called sorority sisters, but I think that he has done an awesome job. I also believe that patience is key in golf, because there can be really bad holes, and he will stick with us until we can get back into our groove, which can take a little time. Another reason that I look up to Coach Hill is because he always has positive energy, whether it be on the course or in the classroom. He always has a smile on his face. He is determined to make you smile when you're having a bad day, even if it means pulling you aside and giving you a pep talk. Coach Hill sees the potential that everyone has, and he pushes them until they reach that potential. For example, on the second day of our regional tournament this year, I had a few bad holes and could not seem to do anything to get back into my groove. I knew that we had only won by 18 strokes the day before, which is not much and can easily be overtaken. I had finished the hole that I was on and went over to Coach Hill's cart because he was allowed to drive me to my next hole. He helps me load up my clubs, offers me a snack, or a few, and we sit there until all the parents leave. I had a feeling that he did this on purpose. He then proceeded to give me a very serious talk that, to sum it up, meant that I needed to get it together and play some golf. I guess that it worked because after our very rare and rather serious talk, I ended up shooting 6 over on the remaining holes. Coach Hill, thank you for consistently pushing us to be the best golfers and students that we can be. Even though you think that we never listen, because we are probably talking, I can promise you that we hear every word you say and we take it to heart. I will hold on to these memories that we have all made. Thank you for these very valuable years.
Coach Hale, are you here? Our next bright star is Ryan Broaddus, and the teacher he chose was Miss Christine Vogler.
So after high school, I plan to go to Lynn and get all my basics out of the way, and then go transfer to A&M, which is a major in agribusiness. For my future, I'm going to be somebody that impacted my life and has been a big part of my life for the past 4 years that I've been in high school. And that was Miss Christine Vogler. I like to thank all my teachers for putting me in this spot, but she's been the one that, for the past 4 years, I've had her as an ag teacher for 3 years and as a wildlife TE coach for 3 years. And no matter what we did, and all our shenanigans and wildlife competitions that she was able to put up with us, and no matter what we were doing, in and out of the classroom, she always put the students first, and she was really great role model for anybody. She's the teacher that got me started in FFA and encouraged me to always do better, no matter what I did. No matter in school, out of school, she always knew that I could be better than what I was doing, and so she encouraged me to do that and pushed me to be a better person, and I thank her for that. Seeing how she puts up with a lot of the kids in my life, especially this year in my livestock class, it's a wild ride. And I'm surprised. I'm honestly not surprised she stayed in school this long. So I just really thank her for that, and for giving me probably the best 4 years of high school I could have for that. Thank you.
Next we have Miss Paige Dimon. And the teacher she chose was Sandy Subject.
I'm going to begin
started our paths into school, most of us were here at the start of kindergarten in Caldwell. We had teachers in practice all the way, and so we are finished remembering conversations and projects each one of them made us do. When I got told I had to tell one teacher that has impacted me the most, I thought a list of 7 people, and it was hard to pick which one was the most important. I decided to pick my intermediate art teacher, Miss Teache. Not only did she make me have a love for art, but she was a friend. When I was in the 4th grade, every Wednesday, we would have art for 30 minutes. I hated that it was only one day, but I powered through. We had PE right before, and me being me, I hated anything athletic. So I was dying to leave the class, and Miss Teache was the one teacher who would let me have some creativity in the class and not make me be like everyone else. She wouldn't compare my art or how I acted to anyone else, which normally happened from my older brother, who was by far my polar opposite. Every Wednesday, I was the last one out of her class to have our weekly conversations on how we were feeling and how our life was going that week. We would always talk about what art project I wanted to try next and how she made me have a passion for the very thing I want to go to college for. When the school year ended, I messaged her on Facebook to remind myself I needed to friend her when I graduated high school. I still have the message on my phone to this day, although I would much rather have read this with Miss Teache sitting here before us. I still thought it was important to honor her and the impact that she has had on my life. Even with the special people that are gone from this earth, they still live a lasting legacy on others like Miss Teache has did for me.
Mr. Teache, would you please come up and accept the award, please?
Hi, I'm Delayni Drgac, and next year I'll be going to Texas A&M University and majoring in allied health, and then hopefully after that, maybe going to PA school for dermatology. So the teacher that I chose is Miss Karla Devin. Miss Devin, it's funny how God works, because you came into my life at such a perfect time. I was in the 3rd grade and struggling with my own kind of anxiety. I hate that I have to follow a page. When I was at school, I often felt very scared and alone. But your office door was always open, and you were always there. At the time, I didn't realize how much I would cherish all the memories we made together. From you forcing me to wear an Alabama shirt, to you saving me from lunch detentions. But most of all, I'll never forget how you're making me feel. I don't cry. After receiving this award based off of my character, I can't help but believe that you got help in who I am today. The strength that you show is an inspiration for many. I am grateful for everything that you have done for me and so many others. Those 3 years of you being my counselor have shaped me into the person I am today. And for that, I am forever grateful.
Next we have Bright Star Cayley Hermès. And the teacher she chose was Miss Tammie Novosad.
I'm going to Texas A&M next year, and I'm going to major in biomedical sciences and hopefully go to dental school afterward. So the teacher I chose was Tammie Novosad. I'm honored to be a recipient of the Bright Star Award along with my classmates, but none of us would be here today without the amazing teachers we had during our time in Caldwell Independent School District. The best teachers exemplify patience, attentiveness, and passion. Mrs. Novosad embodies all of these characteristics and more. I first met Novosad when I was a quiet, reserved 8th grader trying out for a cheerleader. As a cheerleader, Novosad pushed me to step out of my comfort zone and be confident in myself. Though Novosad impacted me as my cheer coach, her biggest influence in my life was as my art teacher. When Miss DeBoral told me I was going to be an art one, all I could think about was how unartistic I was. I thought for sure I was going to hate the class, but I soon learned that Miss Novosad does not accept that there are students who don't like art. These past 4 years, I have never seen Novosad give up on a student. If a student doesn't understand a skill, she finds a way to teach it to them in a way they will. One of the tricks Miss Novosad taught me in art was to focus on one small section at a time when sketching an object. If you look at the big picture, you will become overwhelmed and want to give up. While Novosad said this in an art standpoint, it is something I've applied to my life. Without Novosad, I probably would have been the same shy girl I came into high school as. But through her, I have become a confident young woman who maybe doesn't hate art after all.
Next we have Bright Star Dontavien Johnson, and the teacher he chose was Laton Giese.
I plan on attending Prairie A&M University for my first year, and then transferring to A&M and then majoring in civil engineering. Alright, what an honor it is to be chosen as a Bright Star recipient. With there being more than the normal amount of people selected this year for the award, it shows how our character and our hard work is not going unnoticed. And for that, I'd like to say thank you. The teacher I've chosen that has made my high school experience one of the best is Mr. Coach Giese. Coach Giese has inspired me to be the best student athlete I could be all 4 years that I've been here. I used to always think he was just a coach, but when I got up for my world history my sophomore year, that changed quickly. His teaching style is one of the best. He is always engaged in his lessons, and you can tell he's very passionate about his job. It's always fun in any of his classes. As for sports, he's helped me improve on many things during the track season. He will always push you to what he knows that you can be, even if you don't think you yourself can do it. Coach Giese builds a personal bond with all his athletes and students, and I feel like ours was fun and laid back, but if work was needed to be done, it got done. As this is my last year at Colorado High School, we have made lots of great memories that I'll never forget, and hopefully we get to make many more in the upcoming weeks. I appreciate everything that you have done for me as a student athlete, and I would not be me without you. Thank you for everything, Coach Giese.
Next we have Bright Star Aaliyah Massingill, and the teacher she chose was Miss Vicki Oates.
I'm Aaliyah Massingill, and I plan on attending University of Houston next year. I'm double majoring in Go Cougs. I plan on double majoring in education and political science. Hopefully after that, I will attend law school to become an attorney, and then later in my years of life, I plan on becoming a first grade teacher, like one of my favorite people, Miss Cayley Best. First and foremost, I would like to say what an honor it is to be picked as a 2021 Bright Star recipient. I am truly thankful that I was chosen to be honored here along with many people I admire. As a Bright Star recipient, I was told I exemplify integrity, leadership, school spirit, and a positive attitude. Shortly after Miss Krista was done buttering us all up, I was told I was select an educator had the biggest impact on me at CHS. I was to pick someone who embodied those very same characteristics: integrity, leadership, school spirit, and a positive attitude. The very first person that came to my mind was someone very near and dear to my heart. The best principal this side of the Mississippi River, Miss Vicki Oates. Miss Oates, I know that over the past 4 years, you and I have shared many memories together. Whether it was when I was a little freshman getting into trouble because I didn't know any better, those precious moments after the volleyball game, you tell us, "Good job, girls," and take our post-game selfies, or when I had to come to your office and tell you how stressed out I was. And you told me, "Well, girl, you look stressed out." That actually happened, y'all. All those moments, yet so small, have meant the world to me. If you know Miss Oates, you know she dedicates her life to Karla High School and all her students. There was one point in time I thought she was living at the school because every time I walked up there, she was there. Even though at times I have disagreements with you, and I never once doubted you wanted anything but the best for me. You are strong, kind, caring, firm, and just about every other great quality a woman could have, along with stylish. Miss Ish, if I one day become half the woman you are, I know I'll be doing something right. Thank you for everything you did for me the past 4 years at Caldwell High, and I pray many blessings on you as you move forward into your retirement. Thank you.
Next we have Bright Star Luke McClosky, and he chose for his teacher, Laton Giese.
My name is Luke McClosky, and I plan on going to San Angelo and majoring in civil engineering after I graduate. And the teacher I chose is Coach Giese. A good teacher gives her students an education. A great teacher provides students with an education and prepares them for the world after high school. Mr. Laton Giese has done just that. I have known Coach Giese for the past 5 years, and I am thankful for every moment. He has pushed me to be the best student athlete I can be. I knew he was a great coach by the way he always pushed me to be my best. When he met me, I was a small, immature, unathletic little boy. But through lots of early mornings, late nights, and a missed race or two, he turned me into a dedicated, mature, and slightly less than athletic young man. He showed me that it is possible to love running, and for that I am forever thankful. Aside from being an excellent coach, Mr. Giese is also an amazing teacher. You can always tell that he loves teaching by the way he jumps around the room during his lessons, and he always makes sure no student is left behind, and does everything in his power to help everyone. I learned so much in his classes and hope to have many more teachers as enthusiastic as him. I was nominated for this award because I was told I had excellent character, dedication, and school spirit. Coach Giese has taught me all of these things, and for that I'm forever grateful.
Our next bright star is Miss Rachel Novosad, and the teacher she chose was Miss Karla Devin.
Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm going to be attending Texas A&M next year and majoring in agriculture communications. Here we are, the big seniors of Caldwell High School. Those little 4th grade girls that spent every moment they could in your office are all grown up now. Who would have thought? Miss Devin, let's be honest, we probably would not have made it through intermediate school without your kind-hearted and sweet soul. When thinking about a person that has influenced me most, you instantly came to mind. Every single day, you were able to put a smile on your face and brighten up a room instantly, even in the darkest of times. You've inspired me to let the kindness in my heart show and not be ashamed of that. When bad moments are put into place, you have placed hard work and diligence into my mind. You have pressed in my heart and mind that education, leadership, love, and support are key elements to a great future. When you were down, we were your rock, and when I was down and needed love, you were my rock. But not a hard rock, a sweet, smiling, loving rock that was there for every moment of time. I'm sure you probably got tired of having all of us girls giggling and carrying on, but deep down I know you loved it just as much as we did. Over the past several years, you have been on my mind daily. You truly are an amazing woman with a love for everyone, anyone and everyone. I definitely know your job was not easy, especially when we were your right-hand girls for 2 straight years every morning at 7:30. Those are definitely the memories that will last until the end of time, not just for me, but for every single child that came to you with blue folders, special classes, and that you taught, and a rewarding lunch with the absolute best person on campus. You're strong, courageous, with a heart truly made out of gold, and a true inspiration to everyone around you. I, of course, know that you keep track of all your girls, and with that, I hope my friends and I make you proud of the young women that we have become today. Thank you for loving us and making your own and making me the bright star that I am today.
Next we have bright star Paige Odenbach, and the teacher she chose was Miss Tammie Novosad.
name is Paige Odenbach, and I'm going to be attending the University of St. Thomas in downtown Houston. I'm super excited, but it's kind of scary, so pray for me. Miss Novosad, most students have had the pleasure of being in your class or a part of your team for many years. This was not the case for me. After years of trying to get me in one of your classes or on your cheerleading team, I finally decided to do yearbook. If I'm being honest, I only wanted to take the class so I could hang out with my friends. But I ended up getting so much more out of from being in your class. I've always been a creative person, but I never knew how to use it to my advantage. I'm really bad at drawing and painting, but it turns out I'm really good with computers. I quickly fell in love with the whole process of editing and layout, something you have a passion for as well. Your support and positivity is what made me believe in myself, and I'm thankful for that. You once told me that the better you are at something, the more people that are going to want you to be a part of their team. This has stuck with me and reminded me that I can do whatever I set my mind to, no matter how difficult it might be. With college right around the corner, I've been asked countless of times, what do you want to do? What do you want to major in? And I've said something in the medical field, but after taking this class, I realized that I do not want to go to school for 12 more years. I've decided that I want to get a business marketing degree and specialize in media marketing. This is something I never thought I would be interested in, but I'm glad you were able to help me discover myself. The impact you have made on me during my time in your class is indescribable. You have taught me the values of being a strong woman, loving mother. Sorry, I told myself I wasn't going to cry. An irreplaceable friend. Thank you for everything, Miss Novosad.
Next we have Bright Star Priscilla Olivarez, and the teacher she chose was Mr. Bret Lockhart.
Good morning, everyone. I am planning to go to the University of Texas to major in textiles and apparel through the College of Natural Science. And my teacher is Mr. Bret Lockhart, but sadly can't make it today. When I learned that us STAR students would have to write about a teacher that has inspired us, my first thought went to Mr. Bret Lockhart. Mr. Lockhart was my algebra 2 and pre-calculus teacher throughout my sophomore and junior year. Although I only had him for 2 years, I felt as though I gained much insight into my future college career and even beyond that. In most of my math classes, going up to high school, I'd always been able to accomplish them easily. However, Mr. Lockhart sort of gave me a run for my money. In his class, he pushed us to go beyond what we thought our brains could even handle. But that is what makes him a good teacher. When he taught, you could tell how passionate he was and how much knowledge he has attained over his years of being in a school as well as a teacher. There were many times when he would write out problems and then the next thing you know, he's already done with it. I personally was amazed by how his brain could even think and work like that. Each semester out of the year, he would call all of his students individually out to the hallway and have a talk with them about what kind of path they are thinking about for the future. He would ask what we are thinking about majoring in, where we would want to go, and then proceed to tell us what kind of math classes to take in the future based on our level of math skills and future education. As a sophomore, I did not take this conversation to heart because I had 2 years left to figure things out. But as I became a junior and had this conversation, I realized how fast these decisions were going to turn into realities. I realized how lucky I was to have a teacher like Mr. Lockhart constantly trying to keep me and other students on track for a next step in our educational years. Overall, Mr. Lockhart had inspired me to look beyond just my high school year and understand the need to prepare for my college years. He also taught me that it is one thing to enjoy and love a certain subject, but also another to have a teacher that is so passionate about it that they make you enjoy it even more. There are 2 things I like to end on with what Mr. Lockhart has told me. 1, that I'm better at math than my sister was. And 2, even though most people hate it, you can have a love for math and enjoy it.
Our next bright star is Miss Addison Reed, and the teacher she chose is Miss Lisa Pieper.
Okay, so next year I am going to the University of Texas, and I have been accepted to the Red McComb School of Business, and I will major in business and minor in communications, though the minor is subject to change. Hopefully I'll stick with it. Recently, I was recognized for my character, determination, and participation in this amazing school, and I'm unbelievably grateful to accept an award that shines a spotlight on all of my hard work. Because of this, I would like to take this opportunity to move this spotlight and place it on an amazing teacher and even better person, Miss Lisa Bieber. I've taken one of the many classes she has provided for the last 3 years of high school, and I cannot discredit each amazing lesson she has taught me. For these experiences that I have encountered have shaped me into the person I am being awarded for today, and will remain with me deep into my future. This includes, but is not limited to, an almost traumatic experience I had with a floor knife and a cabbage, but that's a story for another time. From first glance, Ms. Pieper can be described as a somewhat stern but knowledgeable teacher who expects the most out of her students. Her class requires attention and contribution in order to succeed. But as the years have gone by, I have come to know her as someone more than that, a passionate and kind woman who is nothing less than hardworking. I have seen firsthand how much she aspires to make our school, community, and the FFA a much better place. She cares a great deal for her students, current and former. Therefore, she expects the best out of them and gives nothing but the best in return. She is a role model to me, not just because of her extreme talents, but because she is a person who is so much bigger than those talents. Ms. Pieper has shown me a creative side of myself that I have no other way to express, and I have fallen in love with it. She constantly encouraged me to try new things and exercise the outgoing part of my personality, which I am indeed grateful for. As I graduate Caldwell High School and leave this town, I will take with me each amazing moment I have shared with her, as well as a couple Czech phrases I have heard her yell every now and then. I would like to close by saying I'm so thankful for all the time I was given in an environment such as this. And in the future, if I ever have a rough day, I'll remember these words. No one likes a frowny face, and her big, bright smile looking back at me. Thank you.
Our next bright star is Miss Elizabeth C., and the teacher she chose is Jane Ann Giese.
Hi everyone, I'm Elizabeth. I'll be attending Sam Houston State University to play volleyball and major in business marketing. Coach Giese, I first want to start off by saying you are a big reason as to why I'm here today. Being selected as a Bright Star Award recipient is a very big accomplishment for me and my classmates. You shaped me into the person I am today over the past 4 years through tough love and endless encouragement. No matter in or out of the classroom, you always make it your job to make sure we are always where we need to be. In the classroom, you made sure we were always on top of our grades and always giving 100% because our education is most important. From the start of my freshman year, you saw something in me, and ever since, you never lost hope for me and my future. You've taught me how to be a leader and how to set a good example for those who look up to me and my classmates. There is no one I have looked up more to in my time here at Caldwell High, and I could not have asked for a better teacher, mentor, or coach. Thank you.
Next we have Bright Star Cameron Zeese, and the teacher he chose was Miss Lisa Pieper.
My name is Cameron Zeese, and I'm going to Sam Houston State next year to rodeo and get a degree in animal science. My teacher I chose was Miss Pieper. 4 years ago, I joined CELF not thinking I'd meet one of the most influential people in my life, Miss Pieper. Miss Pieper has been there for me through everything I've experienced at Caldwell High. She is the nicest person you'd ever meet and willing to help anyone ready to learn. Miss Pieper helped me receive my Lone Star degree in FFA and encouraged me to try new things, like tractor technician contest. In the classroom, her class is lots of fun, and you learn many new things. After my freshman year, I'd always joke with her about being in floral design. But come to find out, I'm the best when it comes to processing flowers, like fetching some curly willow. If she turned a country boy like me into a florist, she's a pretty talented lady. Miss Peeper puts an impact on anyone she meets and one of the hardest working individuals I've ever met. I'm so thankful she has helped me in this part of my life, and I will never be able to thank her enough. She has a big impact on who I am today as a leader and a person. Miss Peeper, you're a true inspiration, and thank you.
So I just want to say real quick that we usually only pick 12 Bright Star recipients, but this class was so amazing that we had to pick 14. So thank you guys. I'd like to invite Michaela to come and talk about our scholarship recipient.
Before I introduce this group of kids, I just want to say what a difference a year makes. It is so good to be in the physical presence of people and recognize these great kids and the work that they've done to make it to where they are. Elected by their teachers and finalized by their administrators, it is my distinct honor to introduce a very special group of young scholars. Throughout their secondary education, they have exhibited incredible courage, tenacity, and grit. Because of these characteristics and their desire to advance their education, the following students have been selected for the John Edward Hale Endowed Scholarship. If you guys, when I call your name, if you meet me in front of the picture wall, please. Efrain Coronado. Paige Dimon. Adolfo Gassin. Dontavien Johnson. Isabel Leyva. And on a personal note, when I debrief with the scholarship selection committee, it's always so refreshing to hear their take on the incredible stories that this crew had. And we sat for a long time as I listened to what they expressed to me about this unique group of kids. So I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to honor them in this special way. Thank you guys for your tenacity and your grit.
Okay, we have 2 more awards to present. If I could have Dr. Lani Norman please come up. Lani was chosen to receive our Distinguished Alumni Award this year. Dr. Lani Norman graduated from Caldwell High School in 2001, and she was a member of the 2000 Caldwell High School state volleyball team. She received her bachelor's degree from Texas A&M, her master's degree from the University of Texas at Arlington, and her doctorate from the University of North Texas. She began her teaching career as a high school English teacher at Waller High School and is currently working as Executive Director of Learning for Grapevine Colleyville ISD in Grapevine, Texas. Lani is a lifetime learner, as her sister Lindy said, and accomplishes her goals through her hard work and dedication. She is passionate about learning and closing opportunity and achievement gaps for students. She also gives back to the community through her volunteer work with the SLAB, a Fort Worth homeless outreach program, First United Methodist Church in Grapevine, and by going to back-to-school fairs, providing school supplies for children in need. Thank you, Lani. Lani, I asked Lani to say a few words to the students here today.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Krista. It was so special, so y'all don't know this, but Krista and I played volleyball together, and we have some very special memories. So when she called me this week to tell me about this honor, and that I received this award, I was just overcome with joy to be able to get that phone call from a classmate and someone that I have special memories with. And so first of all, I just want to thank the Education Foundation. As someone who works very closely with the Education Foundation for Grapevine Colleyville, this work is instrumental, and what a gift today for not only to honor our seniors, but to honor our teachers. And students, I don't know if you know this, but teachers don't make a lot of money. So, this is what they do and why they do it. So what a gift to celebrate them and everything that they've contributed to you and your lives, and they're the reason you're here today. So thank you to our educators, and coming off of a year like we've experienced, you're heroes. You're absolute heroes. And Jane Ann told me when I came in that she was here to see me receive this honor. Now I know that you had a different honor today. But thank you for being here, Jane. So, Jane and I also played volleyball together and go way back. So, also, I would just like to say that this honor, I'm just blown away. To come back to the town that raised me, many of you, y'all know me as a little girl in church or growing up in high school. Just to come back and receive an honor and to speak to the senior class, just thank you so much. Also, I'd like to thank my teachers as well in Caldwell ISD for the education that I received. I'm here today because of you. I'd also like to thank my wonderful family, my mom and dad that, my mom was, she's a retired kindergarten teacher, and so she gave her life to education as well, and she's my hero. And my dad, who was always there to support me, and then my twin sister, Lindy, that's here, and Jill, my little sister that couldn't be here today. But thank you to my family. They're my biggest fans, and just thank you for your support. So I told a mentor of mine that I was coming here today to get this award, and that they were going to give me an opportunity to speak to the senior class. So I said, hey, what's your advice? What should I say? Think back to when you were a senior. What do you want to hear? And he said, keep it short. And I said, that's it? That's your advice? He said, yeah. So I'm going to keep it short, take his advice. But I did want to take the opportunity to share 3 things with the senior class. As I think about the path and the journey that I've been on, and what led me here today to receive this honor, I wish I could share some secret recipe to success, and if you do this and then this, you'll be successful. But the truth is that there is no, one way to leadership or to success. There's really 3 things that I attribute to being here today in front of you. The first one is passion. Follow your passion. Anytime I had the opportunity to make a decision and follow my passion, I did. And I really think that's what led me here today. I remember I went to A&M originally because I wanted to be a news reporter. But then I realized I wasn't really passionate about that, and I was passionate about working with students. And so I decided to become a high school English teacher. And that decision has changed my life, and so I followed that passion. When I started my doctorate degree and I was thinking about the research that I wanted to engage in, people told me, Lani, just do something easy where the research is already done for you. You already have the data. And I thought, well, there's no shortcuts in life. I want to follow my passion, and so I researched something that I was passionate about, and on the day that I defended my dissertation, my family can tell you that that passion came out, and I'm able now to apply that research to my current position. The second thing, seniors, that I want to tell you is to take risks. I am a middle child, even though I'm a twin. I do suffer from middle child syndrome. And I was always the peacekeeper in the family. I was always trying to be the perfect child, which made for a very safe childhood. I didn't take many risks, and I just wanted to be perfect for my parents. And so when I left high school, I decided that I wanted to take some risks. They were calculated risks, but I think about how my life would be so different if I didn't take those risks. Mom and Dad, do you remember when I told you that I was going to try out for the A&M equestrian team? And I never rode a horse before? Well, I did, and I made it, and I have 3 national championship rings because of it. Remember when I said I was going to start my doctorate and work full-time? That was risky. And then now I'm about to wrap up 1 year, and my dream job, and the superintendent told me I was in Grapevine Colleyville for 10 years as a teacher, an assistant principal, and an instructional coach. And we built our dream home downtown Grapevine, and then I got an opportunity to drive to South Dallas and work in a different school district so I could pursue my career path and dream. And he said, Lani, when you told me you were leaving, I thought you were crazy. And it was risky, but I'm glad you did it. And so now I came back to that district, and he said, it worked. And so I got that experience, and I was able to take my dream job now back in the town that I love. So take risks, make sure they're calculated risks, but that will serve you well. And then the last thing I would say, and there is no secret here, that when I think about, what makes someone successful, and I think about all of the wonderful people that my mentors, they've been successful, it really comes down to your work ethic and sacrifice. None of these things that I, achieved came from taking shortcuts. It was just hard work. And I got that work ethic from my parents. My mom, even though she's a retired teacher, she continued to serve Caldwell ISD on the school board, and she just finished her last term. My dad, he's still working at Caldwell Country Golf Club after he retired from his career as a soil scientist. And so it just comes down to hard work. When I see my twin sister that's a first grade teacher and her success, she works so hard in her classroom to provide that education for our students. And so really, seniors, that's what separates you. That's what's going to help you achieve your goals is hard work and sacrifice. And then the last thing that I want to say to the ladies, the senior ladies, this is so important, and I think about, man, if someone would have told me this when I was a young woman trying to achieve in this world, I want you to, on your phone, or if you have a notepad, there's this book, it's called Lean In, okay, it's by Sheryl Sandberg. And it's really about, it talks about women, work, and the will to lead. And I can tell you for a fact, had I not read this book, I would not have received my doctorate by the time I was 37 and had this executive director job by the time I was 37. And so I'm going to challenge you. I know you're thinking, I just finished high school. I don't want to read anything, okay? But you should read it now. And ladies, you need to read it again when you're 25. And then you need to read it again when you're 30, okay? It has changed my life, and I'm still trying to break down the glass ceiling for women. And I know you will too, but I promise you, you will not regret reading this book. And then the last thing that I want to leave you seniors with is that someone invested in you and gave you opportunities. And so as you achieve in this world and you follow your dreams, and I have no doubt that you're going to be successful, you need to give back to someone else. Pull someone else along, encourage them, mentor them. Ladies in here, mentor other young ladies as you are moving up in your career. And so that would be my challenge to you. I consistently go back to my mentors and lean on them and thank them. And that was evidenced today by the things that you shared about your wonderful teachers, that they invested in you. And now it's time that you do that for others. And so I thought about how I wanted to close. And when I was a high school English teacher, every Friday I would say, have a great weekend. Come back to me on Monday, make good choices, okay? But that's not how I'm gonna end. I will say that as you think about leaving Caldwell and your next steps in life, go and do great things, but then come back and remember where you came from and come back home and thank those people along the way. Seniors, I wish you all the best. I think about this generation and everything you've been through. I'm a millennial, okay? And what we do is, you have to, as another generation, talk poorly about the next generation sometimes, okay? But I'm a millennial, and so we had a good life because things, and I don't mean to go dark here, but I think about everything that y'all been exposed to and experienced. When I was growing up, there weren't school shootings. 9/11 hadn't happened yet. We didn't have a global pandemic. And I think about this generation and everything you've gone through, but what gives me hope is that you guys are so resilient and you have overcome so many obstacles and things. I think about your senior year and how I was driving in and thinking about, wow, how different it was than my senior year. And I know there were some things that you were robbed of because of this pandemic, but I also know that this generation is really strong. And that gives me a lot of hope for our future and our world. Thank you.
Thank you, lady. Okay, the best for last. I would like to ask Michaela to please come forward and introduce our Educator of the Year.
Lani, thank you so much. That was very moving. Very true words that were spoken. It's my privilege to introduce the Educator of the Year. I was notified this morning that this might be a surprise to him unless he flipped forward in the book. So, the Educator of the Year this year is Mr. Cody Knott. Cody Knott is being recognized as the 2021 Educator of the Year because of the love, dedication, and passion he demonstrates to his students, co-workers, and the teaching profession every single day. Cody works tirelessly to make sure his students are not only well prepared for class, but also for life itself. He is always willing to listen, guide, and assist anyone who needs it, no matter if it's 7 on a Monday morning or 11 on a Saturday night. His dedication is also evident in his constant desire to become a better teacher. In any situation, Cody always looks for ways in which he can improve himself so that he can better serve his students. His kindness, hard work, and passion for this career is incredibly inspiring to his students and to other teachers. Congratulations to the 2021 Educator of the Year, Mr. Cody Knott.
Well, that concludes our program for today. Just want to say thank you all for being here to help us honor these students and these wonderful teachers. Also, thank you to our sponsors that are here today. I know I see some representatives from Citizens State Bank. Thank you. Ms. Corbett, thank you for being here.
So I'd also like to thank everyone for being here today and shedding tears, sharing laughs. But tonight we get to celebrate. We're going to have a great time. We're going to raise some funds so we can do this all again next year. So we invite you all out tonight for an all-you-can-eat crawfish and shrimp boil. We've got live and silent auction and lots of fun to be had by all. Mainly, thank you all for putting the L in CELF. Thank you for showing your leadership through your teaching skills, students through your amazing characteristics that you're showing in high school. So keep it up, and let's have a great day and sting 'em.